Breaking news on this Friday, July 19th. I'm Drew Scott. A massive internet outage is impacting global flights, banks, and businesses right now. The outage creating chaotic scenes at airports worldwide. The FAA said that the airlines United, American, Delta, as well as Allegiant had all been grounded. Media companies, retail outlets, banks, and hospitals are also impacted. The CEO of the cybersecurity company CrowdStrike, which is at the heart of the worldwide Microsoft outage, says it is working to fix a defect sent out in a Windows update. For Long Island commuters, the MTA says that the outage is not currently affecting train or bus service, but customer information systems are temporarily offline. For the very latest breaking updates, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Now, reaction today to former President Trump's first public remarks since his attempted assassination. A bandaged Donald Trump accepted the GOP presidential nomination last night at the Republican National Convention. His speech lasted more than 90 minutes and ran past midnight. Trump described in detail the shooting that could have ended his life last weekend before calling for unity and laying out a sweeping populist agenda.
We will usher in the rich and wonderful tomorrows that our people so truly deserve. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, brighter, happier, stronger, freer, greater, and more united than ever before.
Our Sherry Einhorn is in Milwaukee and spoke with local GOP leaders about what Trump's plans could mean for Long Island.
A big night here at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. All eyes are on center stage as Donald Trump formally accepted his party's nomination. He then addressed an enthusiastic crowd of thousands, including delegates from Long Island, who had this to say after the speech.
Exciting speech by President Trump on what he will do when he takes office again in January, about putting our economy back on track.
President Trump covered a lot. He was focused on uniting the country. He doesn't want to serve as president for half the country. He wants to be the president for all the country.
We're going to go forward together, unified, have a great victory in November, not only for the president, but for all our congressmen on Long Island. It's a great start. We're going to carry it right through.
President Trump laid out his plan for the next 4 years, talking about solutions to the problems that are plaguing the American people. I think the beginning was emotional. He talked about last Saturday and how the future of this nation could have changed in an instant, but took into consideration how quick life can change.
Next up, the Democratic National Convention. That will take place in a few weeks in Chicago. For now, in Milwaukee, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
Now, get more of our team's takeaways from the RNC on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Today, pressure is growing for President Joe Biden to get out of the race. Another top Democrat, Montana Senator Jon Tester, joined the chorus calling for Biden to step aside. The president is currently isolating with COVID in Delaware. A new AP poll says that 6 in 10 Democratic voters believe that Vice President Kamala Harris would make a good president. Following Newsday inquiries, Suffolk County has rescinded a $78,000 no-bid contract. The contract to work with the county's Department of Social Services was awarded to VRPR. That's a public relations firm founded by the wife of former Republican state senator and current Suffolk OTB CEO Phil Boyle. Suffolk will now seek the service through a competitive bidding process. Only in Newsday, neighbors of Southampton's Sandy Hollow summer camp say that cars parked near their street are creating a hazard. Residents at Mountain Laurel Estates are angry over street crowding they say potentially hinders emergency services on their block. The Southampton Town Board failed to take action over the complaints at a public hearing last week. The camp runs 9 weeks each summer, serving about 100 children under the age of 13.
We want everyone to feel safe at their home and safe at camp. We don't really want to be fighting with them. We just want to make sure that there's a safe way for kids to get to camp.
Now, the board is still considering restricting parking seasonally from May until September. Double dippers are padding their paychecks with pensions in Suffolk County. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday. At least 10 appointees in Suffolk County Executive Ed Romaine's administration are collecting state pensions on top of six-figure salaries. Critics and some people we talk to say they don't like it because many say they're struggling financially and taxes are high.
I think it's disgusting, really. I think it's horrible that you would do that.
The practice is called double dipping, and it's costing Suffolk taxpayers $1.7 million in base pay alone. Newsday reporter Vera Shanice says it's perfectly legal.
So this process is legal. If you are over 65 years old and you are entitled to a government pension, you can continue to collect that pension on top of a government salary.
Some examples: Public Works Commissioner Charlie Bartha taking home $307,000 a year. IT Commissioner John McCaffrey taking home $265,000. But many of the Suffolk executives are under the age of 65, and they're still double dipping because the current state regulations allow it with special permission.
Now, if you are under 65 years old, you need a waiver from the state. And typically what the municipality will do is apply for this waiver, and typically they are granted.
Even if the current rules allow some county officials to double dip, critics like former county executive Steve Levy says lawmakers created the system, but he says it often has an ugly look to an average worker taking home 50 grand, unquote. Some shoppers agree.
That's not surprising. Not surprising at all. Stuff happens.
Romaine's office issued the following statement, quote, "It was critical to attract and retain professionals with years of experience to make Suffolk County a safer and more affordable place to live," unquote. This Suffolk senior wants Albany to close the double-dipping loophole.
Yes, it is crazy, but what are you going to do? You have to just play the game for a while until you fix it up.
Only the Albany legislature can stop double-dipping. Now you can read more about double dippers on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Newsday Sports is brought to you by King O'Rourke Automotive Group.
A Long Island basketball star is headed to Paris to compete in the Olympic Games. Carissa Kelman caught up with Arella Garantes in a story you'll see only in Newsday.
I'm really about to play against the best of the best in the world.
More than 10,000 athletes from around the globe will travel to Paris to compete at the Olympic Games. And among them is Belport's own Arella Garantes, who will represent Puerto Rico in women's basketball.
I think you watch the Olympics and you grow up and you think, I want to be there, but I don't think I knew how to get there.
And she was like, "Ma, we're going to the Olympics." And I just sat there and cried.
Garantes, whose grandfather was born in Puerto Rico, has been a part of the national team since 2017.
As I get older, I realize just how grateful I am to just even be Puerto Rican. I was just in Puerto Rico a couple weeks ago, and I was working out, and I didn't have a rebounder, and my Uber driver got out of the car and passed me the ball. That type of support is just it makes you think wow, it's really bigger than, just basketball.
The Newsday Suffolk Player of the Year starred at Belport before going to Rutgers to play, and then with the WNBA's Los Angeles Sparks and Seattle Storm.
You're heading off to Paris, but before that you come here back to your roots to play at Belport and practice. Why?
This is home to me. The amount of hours that I put in this gym and the amount of hours is given back to me. I never take that for granted. It just makes me more grateful that I get to really be a blueprint for some of these girls.
This is what she said she wanted to do, and she did it, to play for Puerto Rico's national team. And now to be an Olympian, she did it. She's doing it. She's not done yet.
I'm going to be soaking it all in. I'm just going to be ready for the moment.
In Belport, Carissa Kelman, Newsday TV.
And you can read more about Garantes on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Feed Me is brought to you by PC Richard & Son.
Tender brisket, ribs, pulled pork. These barbecue spots have something for everyone. Alyssa DiStefano and Andy Berlin have today's Feed Me TV.
You have to get brisket here, #1. And then we're doing a wild card, pernil, which is a Latin American pork that I want to try.
That'll be the first for me. I've never tried it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited to eat.
Village Barbecue is one of food writer Andy Berlin's favorites on Newsday's Best Barbecue list.
That we have to do before we eat barbecue? What was that, Andy?
The casual, small North Merrick spot is big on brisket.
I love it fatty. I love it juicy. I love that bark on the outside. It's just gotta like melt in your mouth.
All right.
The most beautiful expression of beef.
I love that. Melts in your mouth.
You gotta try the yams though.
I'm trying to pace myself, Andy.
So this is pernil. I haven't tried this yet. Looks porky.
Very porky.
Look at that skin.
Wait, you eat the skin? Or you eat the
I do because I'm a bad girl.
I'm doing what she's doing. She's the expert. What is this? It's so good.
I love this place.
Next up, more meat at Swing Bellies in Long Beach.
Okay, Andy. Good thing I left a little bit of room. What are we ordering?
All right, so last time I was here, I got the chicken and ribs combo, and that was fat. So, gotta do that one. And then I want to try the pulled pork too.
So I gave myself the easy job. The pork is already pulled. Andy has to do some
cutting of the
ribs here. I feel like I should like step back.
Yeah.
I think you're doing it the wrong way. I think it's that way. Wait. Who's the food critic here? Who's the food critic? Andy, do you want me to cut your meat for you? She's better at eating them than cutting them. Just
we'll see about that. Okay, let's try the chicken. It looks really good. But the dark meat, that's the good stuff. Here, look at this. Okay, maybe that one didn't go as well as I thought.
We're not going to be invited back. Do not give this woman a reservation. Barbecue is just messy. Like, it's messy. Got to work a little bit, but it's worth it, right?
What I like about this place is it gives you that classic Texas barbecue experience, just like an all-around decadent, delicious experience, you know?
What she said.
Elisa DiStefano, Newsday TV.
And you can read more about where to find the best barbecue on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Checking out your hyperlocal Friday forecast. Relief from the heat. Finally, we're in for cooler temperatures today. Here's a look at outside of the Punkwag Bridge in Hampton Bays. Looking at your day planner, sunny this afternoon, highs around 80 degrees. Tomorrow cloudy, highs in the mid to low 80s. Less humidity, of course. And here's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Sun Nation Energy, helping Long Islanders save on their energy bills for over 20 years.
I'm Drew Scott. Thank you for watching.